Going down. In this action-packed short, you have a fight scene in the elevator and a lot of flatulence. The character seems to be provoked by gas into a fit of rage, causing him to fight whoever is in his vicinity. The stunts were very believable in this piece, and the ending left a nice comedic punch to wrap up the film. Great stunt coordination that was very, very clear. And I also love the double meaning of the title.
This was hilarious, creative, simple, effective, great choreography too. They didn't just phone that in. It was really an impressive little fight sequence inside the elevator. Obviously full of gags, yeah. Just again, really creative, just enjoyable. 1 minute of just pure delight. I really enjoyed it.
Going Down. Going Down is a funny comedy. Certainly is a comedy that really hits you in the face, straightforward. The guy enters in the elevator, boom, and he farts, and then boom, they just start fist fighting. I think it was a clever idea. Honestly, all you have to do when you're doing under 5 minutes short, you need really to get to the point, straightforward. No poses, no plot, like no plot development, just go straight to the point, and that's what the movie does in here. So I think overall it was very fun and very well directed, but also very well acted because the main characters are really believable. And so overall, I really liked the film and it really made me laugh. Congratulations.
Going Down was just a wild 1 minute short film full of action. Um, Hilariously, the action starts with a toot, and this continues throughout, which is humorous. But yeah, it was action packed. The choreography was amazing. Um, I loved the effect when he throws his opponent up against the ceiling of the elevator and we see him fall back down. I thought that was done great. And I love the ending as well, with him pulling the unsuspecting stranger into the elevator with him to continue this wild fight scene. Yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was action packed. They got a lot in a minute. So very, very well done.
Going down. I thought this was really intriguing. Uh, I think that when you're in an elevator, especially in like an office or a public place where people you don't necessarily know, you're with strangers essentially. Um, I think that the elevator is like a really interesting like story point a lot of times because it is just this place where you're trapped in a box with strangers a lot of the time. And so I thought this was like a really kind of obscure but really interesting, um, very extreme reaction to being trapped in an elevator. And just kind of like what can happen between the like behind the closed doors. Um, I thought it was really fun. I really enjoyed myself watching it. I thought, like I said, it was a little off the wall, but was really well done. And I thought like the physicality and like the exaggeration of everything was really, really great.
Going Down is one of the most absurd action films I've ever seen. The action itself is really nicely done. It's very visceral. It's very, it's got a real sense of weight to it. But it's also really comedic. And the action itself is like motivated by some really silly comedy, which is a really interesting juxtaposition between, the kind of visceral seriousness of the action and the kind of silliness that kickstarted it. I just loved it.
Going Down. So many of the classic action film tropes with the intense folly and slaps and punches that I love. Those that very lush anticipatory score, very epic music, and the recognizable fighting moves with this hilarious undercut of humor grounding it. I thought the throwing of what was definitely a dummy into the air was so funny. And it actually made me fully guffaw. Great full circle setup and then final pin on it right at the end. And did it all in a minute, which is really impressive storytelling.